Hello and welcome back, everybody. We came full circle. So I started this over in the beginning, right? Well, a couple episodes ago. After I started in the middle, like an idiot. So we restarted. We gathered the knowledge, right, and the respect that we needed for what the Israelites were going through. We also gained knowledge in the fact that I also was right. They should have dug. But throw my part away. Throw it away. So we're gonna read it again. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll put them side by side and see if they're how close they are. But I just wanted to pray for everybody, and myself included. I get really weird when it comes to praying, maybe, because I don't know how, or I just feel like I don't want to ask for anything, I think. Right? That's the thought that comes to mind, is that I try not to ask, right, when you don't need to, but yeah. But I just want to thank God that we are all watching this today, and we all get a chance to wake up and to eat and to gain knowledge and to help each other and to talk to the people that you meet along the way and give them a little smile, right? A little bit of kindness can go all the way around the world. So, amen. So the firstborn is consecrated. I'm gonna figure out how to title it. It might be different. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Consecrate to me all the firstborn, whatever opens the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and beast. It is mine. The feast of unleavened bread." And Moses said to the people, "Remember this day in which you went out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by strength of hand the Lord brought you out of this place." True, he certainly did do a lot to get you here. "No leavened bread shall be eaten." Now, look, the way things are maybe portrayed. This says, "No leavened bread shall be eaten." I mean, in reality, they left in such a hurry that there was no leavened bread available. Not that they shan't be eating it. But then we haven't even got here yet, but there's a thing that says, I think it was in Exodus, right? Or maybe I just read it, or maybe we're going to be reading it, I think. Where it says if you're caught with leaven, you get thrown out. But, like, that would mean that you would have gone back to a civilization that you could have bought it through. And, okay, I don't know. We'll read more. But, on this day you are going out, in the month Abib. And it shall be when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, that he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey. So sweet. That you shall keep this service in this month. The month Abib. That's funny. But, yes, I'm a bad Jewish person. I'll tell you that. Do you know why I'm a bad Jewish person? First and foremost reason why I'm a bad Jewish person. Not Jewish. I was not born Jewish. Month Abib. the first month of the biblical year, and the 7th month of the Jewish civil calendar. It typically falls around March, April in the Gregorian calendar and is associated with the spring equinox. Abib signifies new beginnings and renewals. It is the month in which Passover and the setting of the tabernacle occur. Okay. So God laying out this land for him, you know? 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day there shall be a feast. Yeah, there shall be a feast. Sorry about that. Getting mixed up here. There shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and no leavened bread shall be seen among you, nor shall leaven be seen among you in all your quarters. And you shall tell your son in that day, saying, This is done because of what the Lord did for me when I came up from Egypt. It shall be as a sign to you on your hand, and as a excuse me. And as a memorial, much better, between your eyes, that the Lord's law may be in your mouth, for with a strong hand the Lord has brought you out of Egypt. You shall therefore keep this ordinance in its season, year from year. And it shall be, when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore to you and your fathers, and gives to you, that you shall set apart to the Lord all that open the womb. That is every firstborn that comes from an animal which you have. The males shall be the Lord's. For every firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. And if you will not redeem it, then you shall break its neck. And all the firstborn of man among your sons you shall redeem. Oh, with a lamb. So, in place of your son, lamb. But every first... I already read that. So it shall be when your son asks you in time to come, saying, What are we doing? What are we doing, Try? Why are we doing this? What is this? That you say to him, By strength of hand of the Lord, Try, the Lord brought us out of Egypt. Yes, he did. Out of the house of bondage. And it came to pass when Pharaoh was stubborn about letting us go, that the Lord killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all males that open the womb, but all the firstborn of my sons I redeem. It shall be as a sign on your hand, and as frontlets between your eyes. Frontlets between your eyes. For by strength of hand the Lord has brought us out of Egypt. So, remembrance of Egypt, right? That's crazy. Which, it's still crazy to me. They still forget after this and all this. They go through all the rules and explain everybody, dude. They haven't even written the commandments yet, you know? And they're already forgetting. Then it came to pass, this is verse 17, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near, for God said, lest perhaps the people change their mind when they see war and return to Egypt. He said, these people can't even live without water. What are they going to do when they say war? And for God to make that decision, by the way, he would have known. So God led the people around by way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up in orderly ranks out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had placed the children of Israel under solemn oath, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here with you. So they took their journey from Succoth and camped in Etham at the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went out before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead the way. To just I want to say obelisk, but a protecting pillar, right? And then by night, in a pillar of fire, to give them light, so as to go by day and night. They were always protected. He did not take away the pillar of cloud by day or the pillar of fire by night from before the people. Because if he did, what would have happened? That's right, they would have went back to Egypt. That would have been... That's ridiculous. But in the same right, I wasn't there, these weren't things, blah, blah, blah. But they get to see, there's a pillar of cloud. And the first night, right? Pillar of fire. That's something to not forget about for the next 40 years. I would do right by maybe trying to remember that. But whatever. I wasn't there, right? Speed. I don't know. But, so because they went this way, and they didn't go by way of the Philistines, would have been much faster. That gives Pharaoh enough time. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, 14:1, saying, Speak to the children of Israel that they turn and camp before Pi-hahiroth, before Migdol and the sea opposite Baal-zephon. You shall camp before it by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, They are bewildered by the land, and the wilderness has closed them in. Then I will harden Pharaoh's heart, so that he will pursue them, and I will gain honor over Pharaoh and over all his army, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord, and they did so. Oh, so this is explaining. And so because they had to go that way, they had to do this thing, this extra thing. But worked in God's favor, I guess, right? He gets to once and for all lay a big fat L in Pharaoh's lap at the bottom of the Red Sea, like a rock, as we will read in the hymn. Now it was told the king of Egypt that the people had fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people. And they said, Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? Our lives are so hard. So he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. He said, let's go get these dudes back. Also he took 600 choice chariots, and all the chariots of Egypt with captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And he pursued the children of Israel, and the children of Israel went out with boldness, because they knew. They said, maybe this time, right? Not with the water. But they said, God's got this, for sure. So the Egyptians pursued them, All the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, his horsemen, and his army overtook them, encamping by the seaside, encamping by the sea beside Pi-hahiroth, before Baal-zephon. And when Pharaoh drew near, the children of Israel lifted their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. So they were very afraid. And the children of Israel cried out to the Lord. Then they said to Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, have you taken us away to die in the wilderness? Why have you so dealt with us to bring us out of Egypt? Is this not the word that we have told you in Egypt, saying, let us alone that we may serve the Egyptians? For it would have been better to serve the Egyptians than we should die in the wilderness. And Moses said to the people, do not be afraid, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall see again no more forever. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. And the Lord said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the children of Israel to go forward. Tell them to go, dude. Pack it up. You're not going to get anywhere standing there. But lift your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground before the midst of the sea. And indeed I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. So I will gain honor over Pharaoh and over all his army, his chariots, and his horsemen. Then the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gained honor for myself over Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen. And the angel of the Lord, who went before the camp of Israel, moved and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went before them and stood behind them. So it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. Thus it was a cloud of darkness to the one, and he gave light by night to the other, so that the one did not come near the other all that night. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. So the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea on the dry ground, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went after them into the midst of the sea, all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. Now it came to pass in the morning watch that the Lord looked down upon the army of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and cloud, and he troubled the army of the Egyptians. And he took off their chariot wheels so that they drove them difficultly. And the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians. My boys, did you not realize that before you came? I'm surprised you still have chariots, right, from all that hail. Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand over the sea, that the waters may come back upon the Egyptians, on their chariots, and on their horsemen. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and when the morning appeared, the sea returned to its full depth, while the Egyptians were fleeing into it. So the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. Then the waters returned and covered the chariots, the horsemen, and all the army of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. Not so much as one of them remained. But the children of Israel had walked on dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. So the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the seashore. Thus Israel saw the great work which the Lord had done, so the people feared the Lord. and believed the Lord and his servant Moses and Aaron. But he doesn't get a shout out. Yeah. That's the hand of the Lord. You know? That's the plan of the Lord. That's the plan of God. You know? Really get out there and make you do some stuff. You know? Get off your butt. Feast with you. So, if you're celebrating Passover, happy, blessed be. And enjoy your day and find some peace.